remember when I was a kid, that my teachers and my family always reminded me of a verse in the Quran that says, وَجِئْتُكَ مِنْ سَبَأٍ بِنَبَأٍ عَظِيمٍ. It tells the story of all the Yemenis, that the hoopoe bird that came back to King Solomon, he was an ambassador of King Solomon, Prophet Solomon, to the Queen of Sheba that ruled south of Arabia, Yemen, and the Horn of Africa. This bird came back to Solomon and tells how he found this kingdom, the kingdom of Sheba, and how he found a lady ruling this kingdom. This lady was intelligent, this lady was fair, this lady was smart, and this lady has created beautiful civilizations. So it is very important for me to remember this history. This history is the story of all Yemenis, that be proud of our heritage, the heritage that has produced three queens, the Queen of Sheba, Queen Balqis, Queen Asma, and Queen Arwa. Queen of Sheba married a great prophet, King Solomon. So this history put us in a perspective for us as Yemenis to reach out beyond the boundaries or beyond our comfort zone. So Queen of Sheba and King Solomon created a powerful, a great, smart, intelligent state that extended from what used to be called the Greater Syria, Greater Iraq, and then south of Arabia and the Horn of Africa. Yemen, for me, is a beautiful story because Yemen has been an old civilization that has produced the best coffee in the world, the Mocha coffee, named after the port in the Red Sea. It has produced the best city in the world, the city of Sana'a. It's an old civilization, historical city, a living example until now. And then Yemen has produced as well a very fair trade, the Silk Road, whether through the lands to Central Asia or through the seas that Yemeni traveled and carried spices, frankincense, and coffee to Indonesia, East Africa, and so many other places. So this history is very important for us to remember. But more important to me is the family that I was raised within. A very successful businessman, my father, in the middle. I didn't meet my father because he died when my mother was pregnant with me. I'm the last child in 6 months. And then my beautiful mother, a very dignified lady, very philanthropist, very kind heart. She never was judgmental of anybody. And then my educated brothers and sisters, but more important, my oldest brother. My oldest brother, my father believed in education, lived in Aden, southern part of Yemen, and he encouraged my family, my brothers and sisters to study, both men and women. Where 9 of my brothers and sisters studied in the International College in Beirut, and then the American University of Beirut. And later on, my brother continued his bachelor's degree in Cornell and then University of Chicago. Imagine this vast history, vast positive, things around me as the child, and almost in a daily basis, I've been reminded of the history of Yemen and the history of my family. So coming to Portland, Oregon as a pre-med, like so many of my cousins and siblings, to come and study and go back and work within the family business. So while I was in 6th grade, in the school that my brother founded, it's called Muhammad Ali Othman School in Taz. It's a pre-K to high, non-profit school, co-ed school, founded in 1971, where students will take IB, International Baccalaureate, or they will take O-levels and A-levels and take the British education system. So I took the IB. In 6th grade, I saw in my Yemeni TV the starvation of the Ethiopian famine in Ethiopia. Children dying, adults are dying in the street. And then I saw also the invasion of Russia, the communist Russia, to Afghanistan. And here also children dying, and people are being negatively impacted, whether through food or war. So I talked to my mom. Mom, why we are fighting? Why humans are fighting? And she told me this is normal and abnormal. It is normal that people are greedy, and it is abnormal because nobody has done anything towards this. I thought one day I would like to be a medical doctor, and I'll be able to create and innovate that pill that will make people be full and nobody will die out of food. And she told me one day, God willing, inshallah. So I grew up in that environment to contribute, to think about solutions-oriented, that we humans, we can go the extra mile, and we humans can become very successful. So this is how I understood my Yemeni context civilization. This is how I understood the education that I studied in my early Yemeni school system in the Muhammad Ali Uthman School. So coming to Portland was an eye-opening. Here, a brother that went to Cornell and Chicago, and then looking at the beauty of the United States from within. It made me think that we as humans, living in this comfort zone, we can be able to create solutions that will help our human agenda, that will build bridges of understanding, that will tackle in a non-violent way bigotry and hate. So my first week in Portland, wondering, it was Christmas Eve, school is closed here at Portland State, so I waited to Friday service to come, and we used to pray in what used to be the extended school here in the campus, and then moved to Portland campus ministry. I met a gentleman by name of Nuhat Tolan. Professor Tolan was the founding dean of the College of Urban Planning. I told him, where are the Arabs? Where are the Muslims in the city? Why we are not so visible? And here, imagine, I'm 19 years old. He told me, one day they will be visible. I told him, but you are the dean of the College of Urban Planning. You are the most powerful man in campus. You are a very successful story of an Arab American, of an American Muslims. There was a governor, Vic Atiyah. He was an Arab American. Where are the Arabs? Where are the American Muslim community? The Iraq War happened, Iran-Iraq War, the first one. The Gulf invasion happened, and here see influx of refugees coming from Afghanistan, and then later on from Bosnia, from Kosovo, and so on. What needs to be done, Dr. Tolan? We need to do something together, So this is where the idea of the Muslim Educational Trust came. The idea is to focus in the next generation. The old generation, they already defined themselves and they defined their role, and it is very important for us to define the next generation, to create an American Muslim identity, to create a positive integration for the new Portlanders that are coming from Afghanistan, that are coming from Kosovo, that are coming from Bosnia, from Somalia nowadays, and other places wherever our foreign policy engaged. So we need to create that hope, and that hope came in the name of the Muslim Educational Trust. So we co-founded this, the four of us and other individuals in the community, where Dr. Tolan played the advisor because he's a strategic thinker. He is a man beyond his time. And then the rest of us will implement these policies, and we were able to attract most of our advisory board and board of directors, the unaffiliated Arab Americans and the unaffiliated American Muslims, unaffiliated to churches or unaffiliated to mosques. And this is the story that kept us engaged. For a number of years, for 6 years, we were here at campus at Portland State, at the PSU campus ministry, and then later on, we were able to buy our own building and our own property in Shoals Ferry Road. So the idea was to maintain positive integration, to create that identity. The story of the American Muslim community and the Arab American community is similar to the stories of those that came before us, whether it was the Japanese American, the Chinese American, the Jewish American, that they lived in isolation by choice and most of the time by rejection from the larger society. So creating an enemy is not a normal behavior of human beings that are positively engaging, but it is an abnormal when people act based in ignorance. So through so many individuals in the larger community, we were able to engage with schools because we have students that are in public schools, with colleges, with churches, with synagogues and temples, and so many other institutions. So it was very important for us to create, our programs around this engagement with others and within the community. We were focusing mostly inside to bring the Arab American and the Muslim American to a common ground, to believe, even if we are different, even if we are multi-ethnic and multiracial, that it is possible for us to create solutions that is good for everybody. And let the religiosities of each one of us become an issue between us and our Creator. So our focus was to positively integrate and create a new identity, the American Muslim identity and the Arab American communities. So after we founded our organization in 1993, 4 years later on, we saw the need that there should be a school. A school is a place that you shape the minds from early childhood. We created pre-K to second, and then every year we added 1 grade up until now we are pre-K to 12. So the school is one of our great programs. Our civic engagement became a very important way to deliver and to engage, not only with community-based organization, with civic leaders and interfaith leaders, but also with the surroundings. The judiciary system and the law enforcement system need to be addressed, to educate more individuals about the reality of Islam and Muslim. And it is very important that we narrate that Islam was an engaging, positive religion. When history was misnamed, the Dark Ages, the medieval times, it wasn't dark on the other side of the world where cities of light, where Jews, Christian, and Muslim lived and coexist together. In Spain and so many other places in North Africa, South Asia, West Asia, and East Asia. So, my dear friends, the American Muslim community is a thriving community. The American Muslim community is a positive community. The American Muslim community is positively integrated to get solutions-oriented programs. We have now over 20,000 physicians in the United States. We have so many teachers and professors, people that became added value to the society. Nuhat Toulan by himself is a great successful story. He put Portland State in the map with the College of Urban Planning. Imagine 1972 Portland State before the urban planning. Imagine Mecca, imagine Medina that Dr. Toulan contributed to its growth. So let me introduce to you an important factor that our Youth Ambassadors Club do. They are engaged in the Flight for Friendship to the tsunami relief in Japan, to Katrina, and so many other programs that we are involved, such as Habitat for Humanity and the Oregon Food Bank as well. Last but not least, I will show you the community center, the Muslim Educational Trust Cultural and Educational Center that Nuhad and Nozad Uthman of OTAC and so many other Muslims that contributed to create this beautiful place in the suburb of Portland in Tigard, the Muslim Educational Trust Center. please visit us at the Muslim Educational Trust. Thank you very much.